Hello, my scary friends. Today, I present to you a new story on your favorite channel. A story that actually happened, and I was one of the participants in it. In January 2003, my friend Mohammed said that his older brother's wedding was in a week in one of the rural villages. Who will come with me to attend the wedding and stay for 2 or 3 days to change the atmosphere a bit and rest from the traffic of Cairo and enjoy the countryside, atmosphere and tranquility? There is an apartment there where we will stay alone at ease. What do you think? This is what Mohammed said to us, his friends. So, Ahmed, Mustafa and I decided to go with him to attend the wedding and spend a few days, and they actually went to travel. We got on the train and headed to the village. We were warmly received by Mohammed's family and had lunch. We immediately headed to explore the village, and the day ended very quickly, as is the custom of city residents at night. We decided to take a walk, my friends and I. It was about 1 o'clock in the morning, and our feet took us without us noticing to a distant place in the middle of the agricultural fields. Mohammed asked our friend where we are now. He looked to the right, and to the left he said, "I don't know, but we are far from home, and it is pitch black, and I can't tell where we are." And within sight we found a reed hut in the middle of the darkness with a dim light. So we decided to go to it to ask where we are, and at the same time rest a little from walking. And we headed there, and a young man by the hut, when he saw us, said, "Hello, how did you come here?" We exchanged introductions and sat inside to drink tea and smoke, and we didn't know this man, but we said to each other that his warm welcome is a characteristic of the villagers with strangers to the village. And then the man asked us, "Are we afraid of ghosts?" We looked at each other smiling, and I said to him, "Are there ghosts? None of us has seen a ghost before." The man smiled and said, "I am asking if you are afraid or not. I am not asking if you have seen a ghost or not." Ahmed interrupted the man saying, "I am not afraid, even if a demon appears to me," and we all laughed at Ahmed's words sarcastically. And suddenly, the atmosphere became hot. Very much so. Although it was winter, we looked at the man and his face was like a burning coal, and he seemed very angry with our conversation and began to speak in a strange voice and strange words. We looked at each other and realized that we were in a real problem, and the sound of the dogs howling began to rise noticeably, and confusion began to appear on us, and we pushed the door of the hut forcefully to escape, and we ran as fast as we could, and we found a terrifying ghostly entity chasing us. Horror and fear controlled us. We were just running and did not know where we were going. Mustafa's foot stumbled and he fell to the ground. We alerted him, but as a result of our rush to run, a distance of no less than 3 meters became between us. We stopped to go back and took him, and this ghostly entity lifted Mustafa from the ground and stared at him hard. And suddenly, he disappeared. He took Mustafa while he was unconscious and walked us a long distance until daylight began to appear, and the people of the village began to go out. We found one of the passers-by, and he showed us the way to return home. It was a terrifying, dark night, and we entered, each of us, who, secretly, we were sleeping, thinking that when Mustafa got some rest and went to sleep, he would be fine. In the midst of the extreme silence in the apartment, we heard hysterical screams from Mustafa's room. We headed quickly to find Mustafa screaming hysterically and looking at us in extreme terror. We tried to calm him down, but his temperature was very high, which made us pour water on him in an attempt to lower his temperature. He calmed down somewhat and went to sleep. In the evening, on the date of the wedding, we went to Mustafa's room to wake him up. We found him in the middle of the room, dressed up and standing in front of the mirror, looking elegant. He looked at us smiling and said, "What? You haven't prepared yet? Aren't you going to the wedding or what?" We looked at each other in surprise and astonishment. Then I said to him, "Mustafa, are you okay?" He said, "I'm fine. What's wrong with you?" We looked at each other in surprise and astonishment. Then I said to him, "Mustafa, are you okay?" He said, "I'm fine. What's wrong with you?" He said, "Why are you looking at me like that?" I said, "Do you remember what happened yesterday? There was nothing strange that I saw yesterday." He said, "There's nothing wrong. The party was beautiful, and everything was normal. What's wrong with you guys?" I said, "There's nothing wrong. Let's go see the wedding." As soon as we arrived at the wedding, surrounded by people, singing, drumming, and loud music, Mustafa started dancing frantically, mumbling incomprehensible words, screaming loudly, and stamping his feet strangely. People gathered around us and said, "Take your friend and go back home. There's something strange and unnatural going on with your friend." Some accused us of taking drugs, and others said that he was possessed. Muhammad said, "Okay, guys, let's go back home because people are upset and the wedding will be ruined, and we don't want any problems." Mustafa was laughing hysterically the whole way, unaware of what was happening or paying attention to what we say to him. Doubt and suspicion began to overwhelm us, and we were certain that Mustafa was suffering from something strange, and that what happened yesterday was what caused it. But what should we do? How will we return to Cairo while he is in this condition, and what will we tell his family? We decided to stay in the village until we understand what is happening or find a solution to what happened to him. Muhammad's father came to us after the wedding was over. He was very angry and asked us how your friend takes drugs and does what he did at the wedding. Our friend Ahmed started talking to him and trying to reduce his anger and told him the whole story. The story of what happened yesterday. Muhammad's father said that it is a disaster. He has been possessed, and we must take him to the village sheikh quickly before something bigger happens to him. But now it is night, and the sheikh is surely asleep. Take care of your friend well until morning, and I will try to bring the sheikh here to check on him." Muhammad's father left, and our fear and extreme terror spread, and we sat silently looking at each other, not finding words to say. And Mustafa was still looking at us with strange looks, and he says incomprehensible words and smiles a scary smile that I have never seen in my life. Suddenly, the electricity went out, and the house was in complete darkness. The scary laughter continued, and it started to get louder, and the beating started on all of us. We don't see who is hitting us, and we can't defend ourselves, and everyone calls out to each other and asks what is happening. The lights are lit again, and the light is back in the house. To see our friend Mustafa speaking in a scary voice. "Are you afraid of ghosts? Are you afraid of jinn? Ha 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 ha. Now you are terrified." We looked at each other, and without thinking we attacked him to try to control him and tie him up until the morning, until Muhammad's father comes with help. After bitter attempts, we managed to tie him up with ropes, and each of us sat on the ground in astonishment at what was happening. A terrifying night passed us by again. None of us could sleep or even eat. Extreme exhaustion and complete fatigue running through our bodies, and extreme confusion sweeping our minds, and each of us looking at the other. And what next?
Wait for us in the second part. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell button to receive all that is new.